It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is called Liberty Walk Rain, and this is my summit guide. Let's go! Real quick before we get into it, if you're looking for any of my tunes for Motorfest, go to militiagamingco.com, click on Motorfest Pro Settings at the top, and there you will find all of my tunes for every car that I've touched. And there's a lot of tunes from the community as well, so check that out when you get a chance, militiagamingco.com. Let's get into the cars. This week's Summit Bundle, you're going to get the Liberty Walk GR Supra Liberty Walk Edition, the Nissan GTR Haru Edition, which, by the way, that was an exclusive car up until this week in Motorfest. Now you can just buy it in the store. There's going to be a couple of additional vehicles that you'll need as well. I recommend the Hurricane in Street 2 and then the Black Panther GTR. And if you don't have the Black Panther GTR, I know a lot of you out there do not, you can use the Haru Edition, which you're getting this week, or the Honda NSX, whichever one feels better to you. But I strongly recommend the Black Panther GTR or the Haru Edition. Anyways, you'll also need a drag vehicle of your choice. Remember, you need Nitrochemist parts with Pure and Frenetic, and if you don't have those, use purple parts and max out your Pure and your Frenetic. That will definitely help. And then you'll need an AGP car of choice as well. I recommend using Scorebreaker with Pure and Skilled. And then you'll need a plane and a rally vehicle. I recommend using the P51 Mustang for your plane, and make sure you have Scorebreaker with Pure and Skilled as well. And you definitely need that on the rally car as well. And if you don't have it on rally, use a hyper car. Hopefully you have Scorebreaker on hyper. All right, the keys to the summit, unfortunately, is just pure skill. There's not a lot of cuts in these races. Most of it is going to require you to actually play well. So unfortunately, I just don't have a lot of shortcuts to show you, but I will give you as many tips as I possibly can on every single race. All right, here are the pro settings for all of the vehicles. All right, the first event is called Punk Performance, and this is with the brand new Liberty Walk McLaren. This one is challenging. It's a race that really requires a lot of attention to detail. So let's go through some of the things that really helped me increase my score or, decrease my time. The first thing is the AI at the beginning. I tested this on both easy, like 1 out of 5, and on 5 out of 5. And to be honest, 1 out of 5 seemed a little bit easier, but neither one of them is very convenient. So I start out to the right here, then I cut into the left side here. I let the AI go that way. Then I stay on the right side into this turn, and voila, we make our way around them with not too many collisions. This first little cut here, I'm talking too much and not getting to the cuts. I strongly recommend cutting this corner, but don't do it until you absolutely need to, and control your speed a little bit. If you go too fast here, you're just going to go into the wall. You lose traction on the dirt, you get back onto the road, you get your traction back, and then all of a sudden you're going to lose it again on the dirt coming out of it. So just try to control it a little bit and you'll be fine. Now, that was a gutter turn right after that. Your job here is a long straight, is to get up to top speed, but don't use all your NOS because you're going to need it for the next one. So let's fast forward to this next. Actually, this next cut is right here. I downshifted early at 18%, and I'm controlling speed going across this grass. There's probably a faster way to actually do this, but this is what yielded my best time. I probably could have gone faster and maybe skipped the checkpoint even more to the left, and it, still gives me the checkpoint, but obviously not going through it. All right, let's see. After this, you're gonna blast NOS to try to get back up to a good speed. Let's fast forward to another important part. All right, same situation here at 32%. Cut to the right a little bit, and then go back left and get to the bridge. You don't need to go super fast through there for that to be faster. You just need to make it safely. It's super easy to lose control there. Just make it safely through there. The higher gear will help settle the car down off-road. However, it's going to be a little bit wild. slow down a little bit early, stay wide, and cut the grass. All right, right here at 37%, you want to go to the left of this checkpoint flag so you can get a better angle on the bridge. Left, slow down, better angle on the bridge, and then you can keep more speed. When you exit, cut left or right next to the tree. I almost said left, but try to cut as far right to the tree as possible. Then on this turn here at 43, you're going to want to get into the gutter. I put all 4 wheels on accident. Definitely a skill issue. And then for here, there's a couple of important gutter turns. This one at 48. And then this next one, which I completely screwed and went super slow and in the dirt. I was having a major issue on this one, but I could have done that a lot faster. Let's fast forward. All right, here at 67, you're going to cut the corner a little bit to get on the bridge. And the same thing when you exit, hit this gutter. You don't need to cut it, but just make sure you hit the gutter so that you can maintain as much speed as possible. All right, this turn coming up at 88%. This is a part where I actually gained a lot of speed. So I did it wrong in this clip, but you can take this almost at full speed. Notice I'm at 245 miles per hour. But what I did wrong was I put all 4 wheels in the dirt. If you turn in at the correct time, you can take this very, very fast. So just on a couple of your runs, try full sending this and try not to do exactly what I did, which is put 4 wheels in the dirt, which causes you to go wide on the exit. Still didn't lose that much time, but it's something where I could have probably gained another, half a second there. And that's basically it. The very, very end, I guess there's a little tip there. You can just full NOS and full send down this hill. It's a little jog to the left, but you're all good. Just full send and you're there. All right, the next event is called Custom Nation, and for this one I recommend the Hurricane. This is mostly highway, and if you have a slipstream partner, that would be huge for your time. In this clip, I did not have that, so it is what it is. But basically, my tip off the line is don't use your NOS until you've got it over halfway. You don't want to touch that NOS button because you're going to be really sacrificing your top speed if you just NOS right away. So what I did is wait until after that corner. I've almost got a full tank before I start touching it. And then, of course, getting into 7th, you really want to blast the NOS and get to top speed, which for the Hurricane is over 240 miles an hour. Then you can use little spurts of NOS to keep yourself above 240. So that's the secret to the beginning. You just want to make sure you're getting to top speed. You're going to need to slow down for this turn at 37 and make sure you're in the gutter. After this bridge, you're actually going to be cutting this corner to the right. And then you can actually see, here's the thing. You can extend this corner into the grass or into the dirt if you're going to full send. I braked before, so I had to commit to the road. But if you full send this and go out into the grass and come back around, it is possible to do it that way. I don't know if it's exactly faster than going the other way, but it does allow you to get a better angle on the next turn as well. So it's something that maybe you want to test and see how well you fare. I didn't do that at all. I stayed on the road. And I was thinking of it just watching this clip now. I was thinking it might be faster. On this turn, you're going to cut to the right as well, 73%. Make sure you cut the corner. And that is basically it. You're home free. Just make sure you get back up to top speed and don't go in the dirt at all. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called Pure Performance. And for this one, we're going to be using the Liberty Walk Supra. And there's a lot of little things in this one, so I'll just fast forward to all of those little things so we don't take too much time. All right, starting here at 6%, you're going to cut to the left so that you can make that turn, followed by a gutter turn here. That helps you keep full speed. Then at 13%, you're going to cut to the left, cut the corner, followed by... you don't have to gutter this one. I did, but you don't have to. You have plenty of room to make that turn. All right, at 22%, you're going to cut this corner to the left. It's not going to be a hard cut, but it's enough to keep you on the road and keep your speed up at the same time. The farther you go across the dirt, the more time you're going to lose. Super important on this 26% turn to be in the gutter. You don't want to miss that one. Then at 32%, you're going to cut left after that building. Stay left of the checkpoint. Try to keep your speed up. Cut again. And then once more across this grass. followed by, you guessed it, a gutter turn here. Now this was the same area that we had on the very beginning of the race. Then here at 42%, you're going to cut this corner again, just like you did on the first time you went through there. Now when heading towards this checkpoint at about 53%, you can do two things. You can slow down a little bit and cut to the left of the flag, or you can actually just go a little bit wide into the grass and make your angle a little bit better so that you can end on the road. I chose to slow down just a little bit and cut the flag to the left. It seemed to work out okay, but I did end up in the dirt over there and I almost missed that checkpoint, so just be careful. Shortly after that, you're going to cut this dirt over here. That was about, what, 57, 56%? And then let's see if there's anything else left in this race. All right, there's no other cuts, but heading towards this finish line is all highways, so you need to make sure you're at top speed basically the entire time. And to do that, you can't just blast your NOS, because then you'll have to wait for it to recover. You need to tap it until you get to top speed and then use it to stay there. If you're an experienced player, you obviously know that, but for the people who are struggling keeping their Supra at top speed, that's the way you do it. Anyways, let's move on. All right, the next event is called Elite Nation, and for this one, I recommend the Black Panther R34, or you can use the Haro Edition R35. Either way, I think you'll do fine with it. Gutters are super important on this one. So anyways, let's cut to the first cuts. All right, right here at 11%, it's heavy braking into a gutter turn. And then you're gonna cut across the grass and go straight to the checkpoint here. All right, when you get to the top of this hill, everything on the way down is going to be gutter turns. Now, if you're having a hard time guttering, like if you can't stay in the gutter, you can reset those two turns. But I strongly recommend learning how to gutter. I have a really good guide on that. I'll link it in the description. But gutter turning is super important to keeping your speed. So if you're having trouble with it, reset those turns. And to reset, you're just going to drive straight to the checkpoint and reset right before you get to it. But I strongly recommend learning how to gutter. And the same thing goes for these turns here. There's a bunch of hairpins. Guttering them will be the fastest way to do it. However, if you're struggling with it, you definitely can drive straight to the checkpoint and reset, and it should help you get, you know, a little bit faster time if you can't take the gutters. And that literally goes for all of these hairpins. Like, I think there's, what, 3 or 4 of them on this hill. All of them, same advice. All right, and the rest of the race is literally just staying on the road. Try your best to stay on the road. Try your best to keep your speed up using NOS, and that's it, man. Let's move on. All right, the next event is called Peak Performance, and this one we're going to be using the R35 GTR, and this is the Haro Edition. Now, let's just go ahead and skip to the important parts of this race. All right, the first cut here at 16%. Go through the checkpoint, stay on the dirt, use your NOS, and then cut to the left again right when you're done. Head straight for that inner flag, and that should set you up perfectly for this gutter. If you're going fast enough, which you could probably go faster than what I did there, you're going to need that gutter on that turn. All right, the next cut is just a small corner cut here at 34%. All right, this next cut is kind of wild, and I got really lucky. But at 45, you're going to cut across the grass, and you're going to go straight towards the checkpoint. Now, I made it through the checkpoint, okay? But I did not take the correct path. So where you're supposed to be is closer to this tree, in between the rock and the tree, or even on the right side of the tree, in between this tree and this tree. You're going to need to go more right. But if you notice, I wasn't really sure where it was, and this was one of my first runs. So I ended up going like way too far left and having to shoot through the rocks. I got really lucky because the car jumped over them, and I was headed directly towards the checkpoint. But you want to go in between these two trees on the right side here, and then go towards that flag. Basically, you've got the building as a good point of reference, and this tree here, just go right in there and go towards the checkpoint. This is not going to happen every time. All right, and that's basically it for this one. The rest of it is just staying on the road and using your NOS. Let's move on. All right, the next event is called Global Nation. This is the last real race event. And again, the AI are super annoying for this one. And for this one, we're using the Liberty Walk Supra. I stayed to the right here and then tried to take this gutter to get around them. and I kind of just, I don't know, stayed to the right as much as I can. And then again, I took the gutter on the inside here to try to pass this M4. Was it an M4, M3? Anyways, once you get past them, it's not too bad. But anyway, that's how I passed them. The first cut is right after this bridge right here. You're gonna slow down a little bit, cut to the left, through the park or whatever that was. All right, there's not really any cuts through this section, but I thought this was a little bit tricky. So this section, if you play the Grand Races a lot, you know you go straight across the beach here. You don't need to do that on this one. You need to actually grab this gutter and stay as far to the right as you can, because the next turn is actually way sharper than you think, and you want to make that left in the gutter as well. It'll help you keep a lot of speed, and then you can be in the gutter again for that right-hander. And then slow down for this one, because you're going to have another gutter turn there. So it's a little bit of a tricky section. Just try to hit all those gutters. All right, and lastly, you can save some time actually if you don't do what I did. So as you come out of this tunnel and you make the right, you can just shoot directly across this grass. Use your NOS, obviously, but just like aim wide of this checkpoint and just shoot across it, because the next checkpoint is literally, it's hard to see through these bushes, but it's literally right on the other side of this corner. So you can just shoot straight across, go at the checkpoint like from the opposite direction, and reset your car. And that'll save you a little bit of time. And it'll make it so you don't have to use that gutter either. On this one, I do recommend guttering. Again, if you're having, if you're struggling with gutters, just go ahead and shoot straight to the checkpoint and reset. All right, and that's about it for this one. Let's move into the feats. All right, and like always, here are my 3 feats played in their entirety. I'll be back with the final scores when we're done. All right, here are my final scores. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this summit, just send me a DM with any of those questions on Instagram or Discord. I read every single message that comes my way. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps. We'll catch you on the next one. Trigger out.